Hi. So I wasn't going to make this video at all, but I found something really cool, and it's on Restream. So I'll use Restream for streaming out to multiple platforms at the same time, and that's all fine. This, what you can see right now, is Live Studio Pro, and this is their built-in web browser studio, so you don't have to have something like OBS for live streaming. I've got this microphone plugged in for the audio interface, and it's just down here, and then I've got the camera, and then you can have guests, and that's fine. I found something out though, and there's a couple of things. First of all, the chat, they've had in beta for a little while, and I can now put the chat in, and then when someone comes up, you can see the chat comes up here, and I can comment on it and everything else. So the chat will come up here, and I can display a chat and then get rid of a chat, and I can just test it by going hello. And there you go, that's me saying hello. Let me just get rid of the chat for a second. One thing I've found just up here, that's where your camera lives, and you can turn your camera on and off like so. So I can turn that off. I've got a lovely background, and you can see the camera there has gone grey. Let me bring it back. I was messing around, and I did this kind of by accident and didn't realise you could do this. This is a web browser, and all it's doing is actually accessing the camera and the microphone on the web browser. This is my phone. So what would happen if I went to the same place? So that I'm going to go to studio.restream.io, log in as me, and it asks me, do you want to access the camera and everything else? And we say yes. And you may have noticed just over here is my camera. So it's actually brought it over. So you can just see there, there we go. And it's basically backstage at the moment. It's not like live at the moment. So let's turn it on. Now what you've got is multi-screening. And if I just turn this, it automatically does it. Now I can change the way this looks. This is all full screen. I can zoom it in. There you go. It looks a bit weird. And the colours are a little bit different. You can tell there. But that's just because of the way the cameras work. This is an iMac from 2013. This is my iPhone 12 mini. So the camera's a little bit better on this iPhone than it is on the iMac. And this is just the front-facing camera, and that's it. And you can see him just holding it. So what does this mean? What this means is that we can actually use this for live streaming, and you've got this camera look for doing the live stream. I could put this somewhere else. If I'm doing a product review, I could have it up top here, so we could be discussing this lovely keyboard, for example. You could do anything with it. Or let's just say I'm doing a live looping session. So I've got the guitars back there. I've got one camera actually set up facing me. I've got another one on the floor looking at the looper on the pedal board. You could do something like that. So I'm just moving in between the two just so you can see what happens. So the great thing as well is I've got notifications coming through on my phone. You don't see them come up. It just shows the camera. I could even get rid of the main camera and we can just go to this one. Hi. And yes, it's all doing this basically through wireless. So there is a little bit of gradient. We can bring it all back. I can get rid of that. Now the only thing you'd need to do is you need to mute the microphone on the other one. So this one, for example, is the microphone we're using if it's just you. Or you could hand this to someone else. They could go into a different room and you could have a chat. But I've muted the microphone on this one. So there's a little mute button there, exactly the same. So there's a mute, there's disable camera, and I can disable the camera on this one. And you can see there it's gone dark. And I'm waiting to bring that back. So we can do that. And then just to show you as well, I'm actually on the Wi-Fi right now. If you can see that, I'm basically just a little Wi-Fi icon. And what I can do is, let me just knock the Wi-Fi off completely. Now, it might freak out a little bit. And it says, please stand by. We're attempting to restore the connection to your phone. And there we go, it's done it. So it knocked it off. It put this full screen. Do you see? I didn't do anything. It just did that like motion itself. And that's great. So what I can now do is, let's bring the camera back. There we go, we're back again. So even if it loses connection midway through, a couple of seconds, and it's already back up and running. This is fabulous. This is a fantastic thing, and it's all web-based. So it's just two devices, both logged into the same account. And then it's different than guest, because with guest, what you can do is you can invite a guest in and then bring them back out again. But this is fantastic. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a different experiment, and let's do a third one. So I've actually got my iPad here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to launch my iPad up, and we're just going to go to Restream, studio.restream.io. Let it load, give it a second. It asks if it can allow the camera. So yes, allow. It's thinking about it. And there it is. guest number 2. So I can just bring this person in. And here I am, and I've just logged in with the same thing. Now I'm going to, obviously, I've muted the microphone on the iPad, so the only microphone you're hearing is this one. But we've now got 3 cameras from 3 different angles. They're not very good angles, sorry. But you get the idea, right? How cool is this? Now, if you want to obviously have a play with this, you can do. I'm going to turn that one off, and I'm going to turn that one off. By the way, you can turn on and off any of the cameras from any of the sources, because technically you're logged in as the director on all 3 devices. So you have to be a bit careful with that. If I go like that and I get rid of it, I'm going to swipe up and get rid, and there we go, it's gone. And I can do that with the iPad version and get rid of them as well. And it's gone, and we're now back to 1 camera at the top there. Why would you want to do that? The reason I'd want to do that is because, as I say, you could have a multi-camera view. If you wanted, you can do that live. You could record it like that. And then also, there's a couple of things as well. So one thing that they've done as well in the settings is, if you go into settings here, there are some advanced settings, and there is now a high resolution mode, and it goes up to 256 kilobits per second. For musicians, that's fantastic, because of course you will really high quality audio, and it can stream and push that out at a really high rate. That's really cool. The other thing as well is this chat overlay has been a beta for a little while, and now it's out. So they have brought this out properly, so it's official. And then any kind of like comments, messages from the audience are displayed here. And this is a multi-chat. So if you're on Facebook and you're on YouTube and you're on Twitch, people can talk and you can see the chat come in between. Now, the downside of this, there's 2 things at the moment, is if you then turn it off and turn it back on again, all the chats disappear. That's the first thing. And the second thing, you've already noticed, it's made the camera go smaller. I really hope that in the future, if there's a future update, they actually bring this in so it overlays over the whole thing and it doesn't make the camera go smaller and brings it in like that. You can just reframe yourself. That'd be really, really nice. But it's only just gone live now, so that could be a future update. What I can do as well is I've still got captions and I've still got graphics and everything else. So I've got all these backgrounds. Let's change it over to orange, as I'm wearing an orange top today. So we've got those. We can change it to blue. We can change it to whatever. So I'm going to bring this up. So if you want to have a play around with this, it's completely free. There are some pro options on there, but the baseline is completely free. And you can, in the pro version, you can do things like get rid of a Restream.io watermarks and things like that. You can do your own branding. So this link right here, which is Restream.io/join/John Paul Music UK. If you click this, then you will get $10 of Restream credit when you join, which is cool. And if you go pro up, then obviously you're going to get all those advantages as well. And there are different pricings for different things, but the base version is completely free. So we've done it again there. So we've just gone to studio.restream.io on the iPad and brought it back. And as you can see just here, there it is. So I can turn that on, give it a sec, and then just make sure I am not maximized. And there we go. And we've got it there. Fantastic. So it really, really works. It's really good. Hi, over there. So I'll have a play around with it. So restream.io/join/John Paul Music UK, and then click the link. It's completely free to use Live Studio. I think it's a fantastic way to get multicamming without using any additional software. Just get 2 different devices to look at the same website.